In today's society, Rico age, right? If you're a fireman, if you're a police officer, if you're a principal, if you're a guidance counselor, those are bum jobs today.
It's wild.
It sounds crazy when you say it. You only make 150.
Ace Will's a genius.
You ever question how you work so hard, but it feels like you have so little? Well, that's only because we live in times where our wages have failed to keep up with inflation. So we're always behind the curve when it comes to currency and capital. Rent is at an all-time high, so is mortgages, so is groceries. But rent being the main bill that occupies the biggest percentage of your income. So the fact that that bill is at an all-time high means you're left with an all-time low. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, can't afford to save, which means most people are one emergency away from having to swipe credit maybe and going into debt, or just going down a very stressful and unfortunate sequence where you can't afford to pay this, so you juggle to do that, and now this is behind and that is falling behind and everything ends up behind. We all been there. Well, I won't say we all, but a lot of us have been there. Health insurance costs way more now, but it covers less. PTO is limited, and when you use it, your job act like you did something bad. Most of your energy is gone after work. But we living in times where you feel like you need a side hustle, or you're encouraged to have a side hustle, when in reality, most people don't really want to work outside of work. But things are so expensive now that a lot of people don't even have a choice. Anxiety exists even when you feel you're doing everything right. People really just want stability, not necessarily luxury. And what we are learning is the system rewards owners, not laborers. The system doesn't reward us for working hard and going to work every day. It rewards the people who own the company. So now we're all becoming content creators and entrepreneurs and all these things because we're realizing that, wait, the owners have the power, and we don't necessarily want to be in their position, but we want to have control over our lives, if that makes any sense. I don't necessarily want to be the guy running all these companies, but I do want to have a sense of stability. And the idea that jobs create financial security no longer exists. You see this graph right here? If you remember this from my other video, the orange line shows how rent has increased over time, and the blue line shows how our wages have increased over time. The graph tells the story. But by now, y'all understand what's going on, or you're trying to understand what's going on. Let's get into the vid, man.
But have you actually ever really thought about the fact that one job is not enough here in America, in one of the richest countries in the world? It's no secret that minimum wage in this country is failing to keep up with minimum need. We know this because every single person that you know that has a minimum wage job probably has a second minimum wage job. And it's not just minimum wage jobs either. We know 32% of the country, which is 52 million Americans, make less than $15 an hour. And there is not a single place in this country where you can rent a 2-bedroom apartment on minimum wage. So if you're looking to raise a family on minimum wage, you can forget about it. So what's happening here? How did we find this imbalance between the cost of living and what we're being paid? I want to talk about the wage need complex and why it's important. When wages really started to fail to meet our needs in this country, folks in our two dominant political parties saw this issue very differently. Folks on the left saw this as an indictment on wages, and folks on the right saw it as an indictment on needs, which is a very key distinction, and almost all of our political discourse about economics kind of comes out of this bifurcation. As a result, folks on the left began a war on wages, trying to make sure that they're keeping up with needs. And folks on the right began a war on needs. Do you really need to have a house before you're 50? Do you really need healthcare? Do you really need to have a car? And if you do need those things, then the pressure is now being put on you. You then need to get a second job to work a little bit harder. The sad thing about this position from the right is that the hard work in America never really actually stopped. If you look here, Here is our production line. Here's working people's production line from the 1960s to 2020. We've kept up our end of the bargain and pushing America to become more prosperous and more productive. Whereas you can see our compensation line has not done a good job of keeping up with production. What's also sad about this is that 60% of wealth.
So that right there, what that tells me right there, right? You know how they always say, y'all need to work harder. You need to work harder. The problem isn't us working harder. We're working just as hard as y'all did, if not harder. The line is steady going up. There was never a drop off in the work that was being put in. So that whole, y'all need to work harder. It's like, man, we get up and we clock in just like y'all. We just refuse to settle and be content and complacent with what's being given to us. That's the only difference. And we understand that over time, things have not been changing in our favor. That's really it.
Country, that's land, that's stocks, that's businesses, is inherited, is passed down, right? Not really worked for. So when you see poorer or middle class conservative Republicans take on this ideology that they just need to work harder or get a second job to meet their needs, they're kind of taking a fruit from a poisonous tree that was given to them by folks who didn't really work to get what they got. What's also crazy is that it didn't always used to be this way. America used to be a place where one job did give you a subscription to weekends and afternoons off and an opportunity to buy a house. And people like me, I was born in 1995. I don't know this world. I wasn't born into this world, but it is something that did exist in this country. But that's just my perspective. You guys let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments and send me messages on Twitter and Instagram, and I will try my best to respond to them.
Interesting, man. Interesting, man. So what is it then? Y'all always say y'all need to work harder. Then if you clearly see we still working hard, trust me, bro. I work 6-7 days a week. I don't think I have a working hard issue. If I'm being honest, I don't think I have a working hard problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the problem is me not working hard enough. I'm just saying.
United States of America.
It's the world.
We've never had a place where jobs were an afterthought for success. They were in correlation. Now, people don't have to work and you can still make money. The little kids today, they don't want to work.
Wild.
My nigga, they looking at Casanat like he Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? They looking at, bro, so now work is not attributed to success no more. Work is not, fam, they got corporate big ass buildings that are vacant.
But also
the workforce is not needed for a company to produce results.
But also the workforce is not also giving a lot of people stability in living. So now if I have to work 2 jobs, even if I go and I get this job, I still have to figure out what I'm going to do after I clock out, because it's not going to be enough.
Which counteracts your point. This is the first time we've seen that.
Well, I mean, like, they'd rather bet on themselves.
I'm not saying it's the first time we've seen that.
Yeah.
That's a new thing in today's society, RICO age, right? If you're a fireman, if you're a police officer, if you're a principal, if you're a guidance counselor, those are bum jobs today.
That's wild.
It sounds crazy when you say it. You only make 150. Get your bum ass out of here. You make 90 grand. Get your bum ass out of here. These are jobs that held society up for, and society's been around. You're a principal. How much they make? 150? 130?
You still struggle.
Get your bum ass out of here. You understand what I'm saying? Think of like firemen, police officer.
Y'all got hella fires out here.
Bro, these are not quality jobs. These are careers. They're not quality careers no more based on the financial requirements being set forth by society. United States of America.
That's an interesting take. But like you said though, man, a lot of people don't want to work because it's like, okay, if I do go to work, it's still not gonna be enough, so I might as well try to do what I really want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like I might as well chase my dreams or pursue my passions, because I'm not gonna make money. You know, it used to make sense, like, bro, just go to work, you're gonna be good. Now it's like, go to work, I'm still gonna struggle. Oh, I might as well do what I really want to do now. You know what I'm saying? I might as well actually try to succeed in something I'm passionate about. And we just got to that time now where more people want to actually do what they love, because they realize, I could go work this job, I'm not gonna make enough money, I'm gonna be unhappy, I'm gonna feel unfulfilled, and I'm gonna feel like it's just pointless and I'm wasting my time. So I might as well do something I love. I might as well try to make money doing something I love, which is why a lot of people are trying to create content or, You still have people who are very artsy, who you have painters and stuff like that. You have people who do music like me. You know, and I rock with it. I could get behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if we gonna live this life, we might as well live it to the best of our ability. We might as well do things we love, you know, partake in things we actually care about. Like, I'm over here building somebody else's company and they don't care about me. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the first lessons I learned in the workforce. It didn't matter how hard I work, they don't really care about me. You know what I'm saying? And it changed me forever. Like, I could work non-stop 6-7 days a week. Let me miss a couple days of work. They ain't gonna be like, you good, you okay? It's like, oh nah, you ain't been at work, we gotta write you up. Bro, I just worked 30 days in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like that, they don't care, man. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna be enough anyway.
Can't be mad at the truth. And this brother right here told nothing but the truth.
Why can't we get by in this country anymore just working one fucking job? Like our parents and grandparents did. But when did survival become a group project? Everybody's so quick to yell, just work harder, grind more, pick a side hustle. But the real question is, why the hell should we have to? Why is one full-time job no longer enough to afford food, rent, and peace of mind? Why are we working 50, 60 hours a week away from our families and, you know, still checking our bank apps like we committed a crime? Why is owning a home now treated like some luxury fantasy instead of the bare minimum of our parents achieved with a high school diploma and a single paycheck? Why are people forced to DoorDash after 10-hour shifts just to afford eggs, gas, and maybe prescription medicine, maybe even diapers? Why do people celebrate people working for themselves into exhaustion, but shame them for admitting they're struggling? Why do we keep pretending this is normal? You shouldn't need a second job to just keep your head above water. You shouldn't have to burn out just to barely get by. Why is everything rising except our wages? This isn't laziness. This isn't lack of ambition. I mean, this is like a system designed to drain you and convince you that it's your fault. I mean, it's not your fault. You're not behind. We're being buried alive and then told to be grateful for the dirt.
That's real, man. That is real. Now, I can speak from experience. I literally worked myself into exhaustion. Like, I was going to work, getting off. I'm trying to drop consistently on YouTube. It wasn't this channel. This channel was new, but I'm working nonstop. And then I did this for like years, man. I'm trying as hard as I can to just get anything going, you know? And it got to the point where like I couldn't do anything anymore. I was so tired. I couldn't create anymore. I couldn't sit here and process a thought and then actually take action. I was so mentally drained from working. And then you have people that say you need to work harder. Imagine that.
You used to be able to work one job and make it. Now it feels like one job barely pays for gas and groceries. Two jobs just keeps you afloat. And everyone acts like just work harder is still good advice. How are people not more mad about this?
I don't know. How y'all feel, man? I know there are people who make it work, you know. Everybody don't have more than one job. I don't have more than one job. This is technically my second job right here, even though I don't get paid to do this on this channel. I don't get paid on this channel yet, but technically this is my second job. So, you know, technically this is my side hustle right now. My side hustle ain't paying me, but I take care of my household with my 9 to 5. I don't really know, you know, most people's situation, but I know a lot of people are out here hustling. I'm a hustler, dog. Like, if I know about side hustles, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to scale back so I don't burn myself out, but I've done Lyft. I was a Lyft driver at one point. I did Walmart deliveries. I did Amazon Flex. Like, come on, man. Like, I've never had a problem with putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's never been the issue. But it's like, don't matter what you do, it never feel like enough though. Even them little side hustles, DoorDash, Amazon Flex, you make a little quick cash right here. You know what I'm saying? But it's never enough to really make a difference. You know what I'm saying? You might pay a bill or something, but it's like you right back to the hustle. And within the next 48 hours, you got to do it all over again because it's tiring, bro.
Why is one job not enough in America anymore? Why do y'all keep saying grind a little bit more, pick a different side hustle, go back to school? First of all, nobody should have to work 50 to 60 hours a week away from their family. You shouldn't have to burn yourself out just to survive. When did survival become a group project? Why are we acting like this is normal? Everything going up except our wages. Why isn't one full-time job enough for food, rent, and a peace of mind? The system is designed to drain you and convince you that it is your fault. We are being buried alive and told to be grateful for dirt. And people is not lazy or have a lack of ambition. We are just tired of being overworked.
True indeed.
Yo, it's crazy how a lot of these jobs really don't be paying, bro. And they expect people to slave. Like, alright. It's crazy, like these corporate jobs, bro, they don't want to pay nobody, bro. They don't want to pay nobody and then wonder why people getting capped off, bro. This world is wicked, bro. They don't want to pay nobody out here, bro. It's crazy. Wicked.
All right. I got a perspective from one of you guys that I want to share with all y'all, everybody that's watching, right? So they say we demand increases in wages, right? And once we demand increases in wages, those companies in return may give us those increases, but then they also increase the prices of their services and their products, right? So say you make $20 an hour, but you want $30 an hour. Okay, cool. They're going to give you $30 an hour that you want. But now the service that they were charging $50 for, they're going to charge $100 for, right? And that extra $50 that they're now charging, some of that money is going to go to you, and then the rest is going to be their profit. So most companies are trying to prevent and trying to avoid dipping into their profits to give you more money. So when you do get a raise, most of the time they're just going to increase the prices of their services and their products. But it's like, at what point do we do something? Because it's like, okay, that means when I get a raise, the price of everything, like if we all get a raise, the price of everything is going to go up, and it's going to feel like we never got a raise, right? But at some point we got to do something. Like, we should be able to get a raise without them having to raise the prices. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're just going to raise the cost of everything every time I make more money, I'm not really making more money. I'm making more money on paper, but you know, once you do the math, it's the same money. It's just technically I make a little more now. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what are we doing?
I hope that some of y'all know this, man, but if not, I'm gonna tell you right now, you need multiple streams of income to have financial freedom, man. You can't just be working one job. I know a lot of y'all work one job, and you know what I'm saying? You need to have another type of income coming in, right? I know some of y'all may work two jobs as well, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta have another source of income. If you can develop a high learning skill to make you some money on the side, man, because at the end of the day, life is getting harder. Everything is going up. Y'all see the prices in the grocery store, man. You buy two things. This shit $60. I'm telling you, man. Gas going up. So that one job you got ain't enough, man. You probably just getting by. A lot of us are just getting by. But if you can have another source of income or a skill that can make you more money, there you go, man. I'm out. Peace.
Two things of eggs, $60. Nah, but the point he made, right? Having multiple sources of income. Having multiple sources of income has always been the way of the wealthy, right? It's always how you scale, how you become wealthy. It's always been a trade of the rich and the wealthy, right? They always have multiple streams of income. Every billionaire you know, they have multiple streams of income. Nobody that's that rich and that successful has one stream of income, right? Cool. We understand that. I always understood that. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to make money in different areas in order to really be wealthy. Understandable. But now we're having to make money in multiple ways in order to survive. You see the difference? You see the difference? People used to can choose, like, I don't want to be wealthy. I don't want to work. I don't want to have multiple streams. I just want my one job. I'm gonna work this job. I'm gonna pay my bills, and I'm gonna live my simple, peaceful life. That is not really an option no more. It's like, you know, most people that do work one job is because their partner also works. So they have two incomes in their household. But most one income households, like maybe a single parent probably got more than one job because they got to make up for the lack of the second income that you would have if it was a two-parent household. You see what I'm saying? Because these jobs not paying that good. How y'all feel about it, man?
There's a lot of people out here that think that getting a job will solve their problems, and I'm here to tell you that it's not. And the reason why is because, as y'all know, these jobs don't pay. So a lot of people on here, oh, I'm looking for a job, I can't find a job. I'm looking for a job, I can't find one. Honestly, when you get the job, they're going to bullshit you in some type of way. They're going to bullshit with your hours, they're going to bullshit with your pay. They're going to do something. It's like, okay, let's say you're actually working a decent job and you're making, let's say, $1,000 every paycheck. Okay, but you got to pay your rent. Your rent is $1,000+, your light bill, your phone bill, and everything else. And it's like, okay, well, I'm just working to pay bills. And that's really the reality of the world that we live in today. We don't have any extra money to go to the club. We don't have any extra money to go to the bar. We don't have any extra money to do much of anything because 90% of our money, if not 100%, goes towards bills. And I just had a conversation with my mom the other day, like, I can't save any money. And her response was, Maya, you're just not trying hard enough. You could just save and da-da-da-da. And it's like, no, I can't, because every time I get paid, something is due.
Let me put y'all on, man, when it comes to this, right? So she's saying every time she get paid, something is due. Man, you got to start budgeting, though, and planning. Like, just because you don't make enough money don't mean be careless with what you do have. You still got to learn how to manage what you do have. You get what I'm saying? Like, I might not make the money I feel I deserve right now, but I do know how to manage the money I do make, because I refuse to be stressing about my bills. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. You see what I'm saying? Like, you do need to have some kind of plan, some kind of budget. You do need to know what's coming in, what's going out. Every week you should know when I get paid, okay, I gotta pay this, I gotta pay this, gotta pay that. My check gonna be this, boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna be left with this. Cool. I could put 200 up, I could invest 100, I could do. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the point I am now, where it's like, cool, I'm gonna pay that, boom, boom, I'm gonna have this left, boom. All right, I'm gonna take half of that, I'm gonna invest that, boom. Yeah, buy me a little ETFs, whatever, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you don't make enough don't mean you have the right to be careless with what you do have. You still have to manage what you do have. You know what I'm saying? Let's throw that out there. You know, like she said, she want to go to the club and all that. That's not priority. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not priority. We not worried about clubbing. We not worried about none of that. If the bank account ain't right, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you gotta be.
Amazon Pay is garbage. I've made more money washing dishes in a week than what I get paid from this job in a week. Working with Amazon, I thought, this is about to be lit. It's about to be it's about to be a swell job. Swell. I lied. This job is horrible. We don't get paid enough. For what us walkers have to go through, we don't get paid enough. We don't.
I feel like most delivery drivers don't get paid enough, bro. I'm being honest. Or delivery people in general, bro. Like, my time at FedEx delivering, bruh, the what you gotta go through, bro. You gotta deal with people, dogs. You know what I'm saying? You all over the place. They might, most of the time, they sending you somewhere that you're not familiar with. So you gotta figure out the area. They give you these GPSs that don't really work that good. And then they'll send you somewhere where you don't get signal. Man, bruh, being a delivery driver, that's one job. Like, I thought I would love it going into it, but I'm good on it. One more for y'all, man. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, if you relying on one income in 2024, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're literally missing brain cells. Like, really, you must be playing Russian roulette with your life. Because I know you see the prices of things out here. Like, it's not what it was 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and definitely not 20 years ago. Like, the value of a dollar, the actual dollar is going down and it's dropping rapidly every year. Sorry to break the news to you, but inflation is not slowing down. It's not stopping no time soon. So go and get that second job, go and get that business, go and get that side hustle. And actually, you might need a third one. Like, that might have to be the standard right now. Like, a job or two in a business, or a job and 2 side hustles. It should be the standard as of right now. America's over $52 million in debt.
Shouldn't be like that,
man.
man.
That's not changing. We could keep, they're not going to do nothing to change that, because they're going to keep borrowing money for things that need to happen. How are we ever going to get out that much debt when we was just trying to give some billions to a whole nother country? Like, it's not going to happen. So the way to fight that, with you still being alive, is either, like I said, getting those multiple hustles. Like, think about 3 as the minimum, the standard. There should be 3 to 5. And then make sure you get you some assets, man.
Damn, my boy went from 1 to 2 to 3. 3 being the minimum. And then my boy say, I should turn this light on. Then my boy say 3 to 5. Oh my goodness.
Digital assets and some stock, because really you can't even fully trust companies right now, but the big name companies, you know, you can trust them, and I'm sure you know about them. The Apples, the Facebooks. We're still in the social media generation, so those will help, but make sure you get you some crypto, man. The digital coin, because inflation can't do nothing with that. That's gonna keep growing. This free game right here. But if you got one job, shit, even two, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
Sheesh. I wouldn't say y'all some idiots or nothing like that. I got one job, you feel me? My one job do me pretty well, you know what I'm saying? I can't complain. One job is holding it down. But how y'all feel about it? How many jobs do you have? That's the question. How many jobs do you have? How many, do you have a job in a side hustle? Do you have a job in 2 side hustles or 2 jobs in a side hustle? Like, what is it? Me, I'm a man of many hats. You know what I'm saying? I take this hat off, put another one on, man. Content creator, audio engineer, producer, artist, graphic designer, mechanic, you know what I'm saying? What else, man? The tech guy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I repair iPhones and stuff like that. What else? You know what I'm saying? I wear many hats. So I definitely have, I guess you could say I have many side hustles, but I don't look at them all like that though. I just don't. I don't know. It's just stuff I do from time to time. You know what I mean? But how y'all feel about it, man? How many jobs do you have? Do you feel like we need? How many jobs do you think we need in today's economy? Like, what do we really need? You know what I mean? But until next time, Ahce will gone.